Oh my gosh, look at this, guys. There's my front hood. Look at all that green right there. Brutal day in Richmond. It is the worst of all worlds. It's windy, tons of pollen, humid, cloudy, but praying for rain today. Please bring some rain today. And it's right now about getting close to 80. It's going to be like real feel 85 today. And then tonight, plummet. We're going to major plummet in temperatures here on April the 6th, 2025. All right, so first off, I want to say rest in peace. We had an MLB player who passed away yesterday, Carl Warwick, dying at the age of 88. He played for the LA Dodgers in 1961, the St. Louis Cardinals 61 and 62, and then in the first year of the expansion, Houston Colt 45s, and he was born in Dallas, Texas, so he was a native Texan. Played for the Colt 45s in 62 and 63. Their first 2 years, I think that was their only 2 years before they became the Astros, and then he went back to the Cardinals in 64 and 65. He was a member of the 1964 World Series champions. He had a ring with that team. He had the go-ahead RBI in Game 1 of that World Series, and then had a clutch hit off Mel Stottlemyre in Game 2. He was 3 for 4 in the World Series, batted .750, 2 runs, 1 RBI. So he was a key part of that World Series team, that sweep over the New York Yankees. He was one of the rare players who, in MLB history, who batted right-handed but threw left. One of the others, notably Rickey Henderson, finished his career with the Orioles in 65, part of 65, and then finished his career with Bear Scott's Cubs in 1966. Carl Warwick, rest in peace, passing away yesterday at the age of 88. Last night's feature presentation, this one picked by Schalk and Mr. Met. And this one was one of our films from the whiteboard series of the spring season on the others list, not a must-watch. Last night's feature presentation, A Night to Remember, 1958, starring Lawrence Naismith as Captain Edward Smith, Kenneth Moore as Second Officer Charles Lightoller, Kenneth Griffith as the wireless operator Jack Phillips, David McCallum as the assistant wireless operator Harold Bride. All major names from the RMS Titanic. And also, we have an appearance by Honor Blackman in this film. This was an English-made film. It was made by some British company, but the story, it was mostly written by Walter Lord. The story, A Night to Remember, based on the incident of the Titanic, which the anniversary is in 9 days, so on April the 15th. A good time of year to watch this. So Honor Blackman, Miss Liz Lucas is in this. You also have Tucker McGuire, that's a woman, as the unsinkable Molly Brown, who's very good in this. It was played by Kathy Bates, that character in the 1997 Titanic. This film, I've never seen a film on IMDb with this many uncredited. Check it out sometime. Look on the IMDb of uncredited people in this film. The list goes on forever. There's a ton of participants in this that were uncredited. Just a few notables. One, Christina Lubix. I had her in the list as Polish girl. And then Jean Anderson as the stuffy lady on Lifeboat. Great to see Jean Anderson. She would show up in 1983's trilogy horror film Scream Time, which was becoming almost a must-watch for Horror Fest. I seem to get into this every year. It's one of those trilogy films, kind of like Trilogy of Terror, and she appears in the last one as a major character, as one of the women in the house of the evil gnomes, little yard gnomes. So Gene Anderson is in A Night to Remember, and finally appearing in this but uncredited, Sir Sean Connery is in this as a lifeboat survivor. I did not catch him. All right, so that's last night's feature presentation, A Night to Remember, 1958. If you haven't seen this movie, I think it's free, maybe free on YouTube with ads, but this is a phenomenal film, guys. This is not one of my typical so bad it's good kind of films that, low budget films. This is just an incredible movie. It clocks in at 123 minutes, which is absolutely perfect. The 1997 one was way too long. Was poorly edited. This is easily the greatest Titanic related film of all time, and the special effects are great. They hold up absolutely just incredibly after 67 years later. It looks phenomenal. Titanic 1997 was basically a remake of this except for the love story. There are scenes in this that are identical. You can look it up on YouTube. There's scenes where they steal the exact same lines, the exact same scenes, which I really have no problem with, but few people know that. And it starts off with this great shot from the perspective of the boat, it's going like this, and you're just seeing just the waters and the ocean, and it just has so many great little touches, just showing the little food cart in the dining area kind of tilted and rolling as the ship is starting to do this, and the women saying various things on the lifeboats. I want my husband, and it's just enough. It's not overdone, but it's absolutely, it's just a perfect film, I think. And they get right into the iceberg sinking. I mean, the hit of the iceberg without a lot of foreplay in this film, which I kind of liked. They focus mostly on the incident itself, but there's just enough before that's really all you need. And this is definitely a film that I would recommend. It does not feel like 123 minutes. It ends perfectly, and I think it's an awesome film, and it might even be a must-watch from now on, because this is a great film. If you're a big fan of Titanic stuff, or if you're like Shock and just a big, disaster connoisseur of ships sinking, this is great. This is one of the early disaster films that would be, you would see later in the 70s, the subgenre of disaster films. This is one of the best disaster films of all time. Last night's feature presentation, A Night to Remember. And we also saw a couple of big games last night. I thought Auburn had the game. I really thought they were the stronger team in the game, but Florida, the Gators, going for the championship in tomorrow night, and they will play the Houston Cougars. It's Cougars and Gators, boys, and I'll talk more about that. Duke gagged on their own nuts last night. When you have an 11-point lead with little over 2 minutes left, I think this goes to the coaching, and also think that the Houston team is just. I talked about it last night. I told Andy that before the game, look, this team is relentless down to the 10th player on their bench. as far as playing defense, never running out of gas, and they can wear down Duke. Okay, and that's exactly what happened in the game. They overwhelmed them. They did not. They seemed like they never got tired, and they did just enough to win that game, a low-scoring game. Congratulations to the Gators and the Cougars. And I think Cooper Flagg is kind of a fraud. He is not a championship player. He showed that. I don't know if he's coming back next year, but he really gagged that game last night. I see a guy kind of whining at the end about a call and then missing an open look, and they had a clearly open look to take the lead on a jump shot, and not too good. Not a good performance there by the Dukies and the whole team. It was a collective meltdown. But John Shire, you should take a lot of heat for that. All right, congratulations. We got a big game tomorrow night. I'll talk about it tomorrow at Bear Scott Stadium. See you guys then.